Hi, I'm Maurice Gibb.
I'm Barry Gibb.
And I'm Robin Gibb, and we're the Bee Gees.
Their music is Stayin' Alive. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're taking a look at the history of the Bee Gees.
Let's go back a few years, all right?
Oh, my old man, the dustman, he wears a dustman's hat. He wears cloth-blimey trousers, and he lives in a council flat.
The Bee Gees formed in the 1950s after Barry Gibb and his brothers, twins Robin and Maurice, began singing together as boys in Manchester, England. They later relocated to Queensland, Australia, but continued performing and made television appearances under the Bee Gees name. After signing to Leadin' Records in 1963, they released 2 albums but made no real impact. The Bee Gees then tried their luck back in England. While making the trip, their single Spicks and Specks topped the Australian charts, and this helped them land a contract with Polydor Records.
Oh, where are the girls left far behind?
With Barry playing rhythm guitar and sharing lead vocals with Robin, and Maurice handling backup and multiple instruments, the trio kept recording. In 1967, they released the psychedelic rock album Bee Gees First internationally, and it cracked the UK and US top 10. That same year, Massachusetts off Horizontal was their first chart-topping UK hit.
And the lights all went down in Massachusetts.
Because 1968's I've Gotta Get a Message to You duplicated that success, it was included on the American version of the Idea record. 1969 was a year of change. Though the group pleased critics with their country and progressive rock experiments on the double LP Odessa, they suffered from tensions that led to Robin's departure. Their first album without him was the commercially disappointing Cucumber Castle. The trio was back with their beautiful harmonies on the 1970 LP 2 Years On. The next year, the album Trafalgar produced their first American number 1.
How can you stop the rain from falling down?
In 1972, the band showcased diverse musical styles on To Whom It May Concern. Sales for their next 2 albums fizzled, so the Bee Gees changed their sound.
With all your talking, telling me right.
Thanks to the disco-influenced main course, they reached the US top 20 in 1975. By putting Barry's high-pitched vocals to good use and incorporating R&B into their disco sound, the Bee Gees became a household name in the US with 1976's Children of the World. That LP also gave them the chart-topping smash, You Should Be Dancing. The Bee Gees capitalized on the disco craze by contributing to the movie soundtrack for 1977's Saturday Night Fever. That became one of the best-selling soundtracks in history and produced 3 number 1s for the band. They continued to rule the charts by working with other artists, including their brother Andy. The poor reception of the film Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band did little to dampen the Bee Gees' achievements. They had 3 more American number 1s off 1979's chart-topping Spirits Have Flown. However, the end of the 70s also meant the end of disco. Though the Bee Gees had some European success and received a Grammy nomination for the Stayin' Alive movie soundtrack, commercial success eluded them in the US with their 80s albums Living Eyes and ESP. Meanwhile, the members worked on solo projects and achieved massive success through collaborations with stars like Barbra Streisand and Dionne Warwick.
Why do you have to be a heartbreaker?
Following Andy's unexpected death in 1988, they reached the American top 10 with the title track from One the next year. During the early 90s, they released several compilations and the more electronic-sounding High Civilization. Despite health problems, they found UK chart success in 1993 with Size Isn't Everything. The Bee Gees returned to the American top 20 thanks to 1997's Still Waters. Later that year, their one-night-only performance in Las Vegas kicked off a series of tour dates that lasted until 1999. Their last album as a trio was the successful 2001 disc This Is Where I Came In, as Maurice died from a heart attack 2 years later.
This is the danger zone. This is where I came in. They know not what they do. Forgive them of their sins.
Though Bee Gees compilations were subsequently released, the brothers made music on their own and worked with other acts. They also performed together periodically, but had to put discussions about a reunion on hold after Robin's liver cancer diagnosis in 2011. The Gibb brothers distinguished themselves in pop and disco with their soulful harmonies and vocal abilities. They've also triumphed by writing countless successful singles for numerous other artists. With many Grammys and millions in album sales, it's no surprise the Bee Gees have influenced thousands and are one of history's most successful musical acts.
It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. It's so